us about that, going week to week without a paycheck.
Well, I guess in simple terms, it's the unknown. We go to work with the expectation that we're going to get paid every 2 weeks, which has not happened. So certainly I have to make choices for myself and my family and what I can or cannot do. But we're in a dire need right now because we're approaching a pay period that's coming this Friday. And it's sad to say is that we've been thrust into something that is no doing of our own. Our employees want to come to work. They want to do their job. We're not asking for a raise. They just want a paycheck.
Yeah, well said. And can you clarify, George, will this be the second or third paycheck that you will miss this Friday?
Okay, this will be the third, but let me just go back because the first check that we missed was a partial. So a lot of employees received a check maybe for $100, not their normal pay, because with the different disbursements you have in the pay period, that's what people got. And that was only a half a pay period. So just think about it. So in reality, this will be our third missed a full paycheck.
Yeah, and so you're at the airports. You're actually, there seeing people standing in line. And I guess Atlanta's got one of the worst situations in terms of the wait times. How are your TSA agents and how do you handle this to understand their frustration and understand really the frustration that your fellow workers are feeling?
Listen, we're trying to do the best we can under the circumstances. Listen, we speak every day when we come in. I don't know how many officers I'm going to be working with on a particular day. I mean, example, I may have 18 officers because I am a lead officer in Atlanta, but there's some days I only have 3. And then I hear the stories. Listen, I don't have gas. I don't have this. I have some people that have maxed out on their credit cards. I have 2 officers that are shortly going to be evicted from their apartments for non-failure of payment. So, it's very, it's disheartening, but we're just like, say, where's the end? Where's the light at the end of the tunnel with us?
What we know right now, more than 400 unpaid TSA workers have now quit their job across the country. Sick outs are at their highest. Can I talk to you about what's happening at your airport at Atlanta in terms of the call outs? How is that being handled? Because you're still working without pay and others are too. But with the call outs, is that more of a burden? Is that a higher stress level? Are you working more hours? Can you explain how that works with less employees each and every day?
Well, certainly any system that's set up, it's set up for volume. So on a given day when we have the correct amount of officers in, we can handle volume. But, I'll use an analogy. So if I have 100 officers that are working on my shift with me in totality, and we have 8, 9 lanes open, but then all of a sudden that number goes down to 12 officers that only come in. So let's think about it. I can't open 8 lanes. I can only open 1 lane. So certainly you're going to have the lines that you see at the airport you see last week. I mean, we're gonna encounter that this week. If there's no pay or there's no deal, trust me, Atlanta will be at the same position it was last week because we just won't have the officers to come in because they won't be able to come in. George, and to be able to handle the volume.
So less officers coming in. How do you handle that? Are you working overtime? I mean, people aren't getting paid for the regular time they're working. Are they actually going in and having to work overtime because they are essential employees?
Listen, the people that can come in will come in. Okay, and I actually spend extra hours off my shift to come and help my colleagues. But but we're at a point where it's unsustainable. Working overtime and not getting paid. I mean, what good is it? Eventually, maybe one day we'll get paid.
How long are your days?
There's some days I'm working 16-hour days.
My goodness.
And I have an 8-hour shift. So I'll come in and work an additional 8 hours just to help my fellow officers because, listen, it's tough. And I feel bad for the flying public. When you have people waiting 6, 7 hours of no fault of their own, and doing that, I mean, listen, it's very tough, but it's going to get worse. If the powers that be can't come up to a solution, it's going to get worse.
I'm Sean Kreisman. For stories and content just like this, check out National Report weekdays 9 to noon, only on Newsmax.